This episode is sponsored by LexisNexis, supporting information professionals as leaders in AI innovation. Explore resources and tools designed specifically for your role at lexisnexis.com /community/infopro and connect with them at AALL this summer in Cleveland.
Well, hello, everybody. Uh, my name is Andre Davison. I'm the director of the Harris County Robert W. Haynesworth Law Library, and I am one of the hosts of AALL All In with my PIP, and that's not performance improvement plan. That is my partner in pod, Katie Brown.
Yes, I'm Katie Brown. I'm the Associate Dean for Information Resources from the Charleston School of Law. And I'm going to hand it back to you, Andre.
Yes, and welcome back to All In, where we go all in on conversation shaping law libraries, legal information, and the people who make this profession so special. Today, we are turning our attention to the places where so many of these conversations come alive in person, the AALL Annual Meeting and Conference. And I have to say, this week, different from episode one, I'm trading in my "Hey y'all" for a little, and that's Texas, to say hey y'all" for a little Hawaiian aloha.
I love that so much. Yeah, I agree. At the annual meeting, it's all about the networking. It's all about the conversations. So going from a y'all to aloha, it feels like the perfect way to introduce this episode.
Exactly. So we're talking about AALL 26 in Cleveland, and this year's theme is leading with aloha. The theme already sounds like something our profession needs right now: leadership, connection, service, community, and a reminder that even in times of rapid change, we can still lead with care.
Yes, and we have two amazing guests with us to help preview the conference. They're going to talk to us about the vision behind the theme and encourage everyone to register and be part of the experience. So, who do we have with us today?
Today, I am honored to introduce our president, my former board member, and now AALL president, Jenny Silbiger, Hawaii State Judiciary State Law Librarian, like that was long, and Access to Justice Coordinator. Jenny began her term as AALL president in July 2025, and now she serves nearly almost 4,000 members as president of our organization. Jenny is also making history as the first AALL president residing and working from Hawaii. Jenny, we still have to have a AALL board meeting in Hawaii.
I agree. I want in. I'm not on the board, but I still want
Yeah, I want in.
in.
And Jenny is also the first Korean American to lead AALL since its founding in 1906. Her leadership theme, Leading with Aloha, invites us to think about empathy, collaboration, equitable access to justice, and how we build a stronger, more inclusive legal information community together.
And we are also excited to welcome Kelly Leong, chair of the annual meeting program committee. And I have also done this before. I know that is a hard gig, man. And Kelly, you and I are also bonded because we have both moved around the country a whole bunch for library jobs. I understand you have moved from New York to California. And so I get that.
And hey, maybe we should have a future all in segment called "Where in the World Are the Law Librarians?" Since and we'll feature Katie and K's, double K's, K and K on that episode
You
because
know, I think we're not alone in that. There are lots of us that we move around for the gigs. Not you though. You like to stay in Texas.
yes, I am. In addition to her professional journey, Kelly has given so much to AALL through volunteer leadership, including chairing multiple committees and juries. And in her role as AMPC chair, she has helped guide the work of reviewing and selecting programs for this year's annual meeting that reflects the educational and professional needs of law librarians and legal information professionals. Jenny and Kelly, welcome to All In.
Hey, aloha, Andre and Katie. Thank you so much for having us. And Kelly, I'm so excited to get to spend more time with you.
I'm thrilled to be here to talk about everything AALL annual meeting related, and hopefully more people will attend and we'll have a really great conference.
Excellent. As I was thinking about the conference, I just want to throw this in. I realized I have gone to every conference except for one
Oh,
since
wow.
2026.
Wow. That's
So
amazing.
I'm excited to be going back this year.
That is amazing. And I can confirm, just because we tried to book, that the conference main hotel is sold out. The Hilton is sold out because we just tried to book it. So you're gonna have, you
Oh
can't stay at the Hilton, but you can stay at nearby hotels. So, well, Jenny, I want to get started with you. I want to talk about this theme, leading with the aloha, because getting a chance to work with you on the board, I can feel the aloha coming from you. And I want you to, it's a warm, inviting, and deeply meaningful theme. And when members hear that theme, what do you hope they understand about the spirit and the vision of this annual meeting?
Aloha, Andre, and thank you so much. Mahalo for the question. It's really wonderful. And I'm excited to talk about it. Okay. So, leading with Aloha is an invitation. And honestly, it's really personal for me. Like you mentioned, being the first Hawaii resident to be elected to lead AALL, I'm standing on shoulders of amazing BIPOC leaders before me. And so, Aloha, which it was gifted to us and stewarded by Kanaka Maoli, now known as Native Hawaiians, for generations. And it means so much more than hello and goodbye. It carries with it akahai, which is kindness, lokahi, unity, ha'a, humility, and ahonui, patience. And it is the understanding that we do not exist as singular individuals in a vacuum, that we exist in relationship with one another. And that relationship is where our strengths lives. So strengths live. To lead with aloha is to bring that spirit into every conversation, every decision, every moment where we have the opportunity to make space for each other, especially in the challenging ones. And it takes courage to do that. It takes vulnerability. And I believe our profession is absolutely ready for both. And what I hope members feel when they hear this is that they are all, every single one of our members, are recognized and welcomed into space, that they belong, and that this theme was not chosen as a slogan, but as a genuine reflection of who we are and who we are choosing to be together right now, in this moment, because we are all navigating a moment, or these moments that are asking a lot of us. And I know some of our colleagues are carrying real weight and fear, uncertainty, difficult choices in an external climate that is unpredictable at best and chaotic at worst. I remember when I was inspired by this, actually, because law librarians, we love a plan. So we were planning for this back in 2024. Kelly, you were in Chicago, right? For vice chairing. And I was hit with this inspiration because of the just things that were happening in December of 2024, things that we're getting ready for, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, Kelly, I have this amazing idea. So I texted her, I called her while she was freezing in Chicago, and I was walking in the back of my neighborhood. I'm like, Kelly, I think our theme should be leading with aloha. Okay, wait. So leading with aloha means that we make space for all of this, all of the chaos, but really to foster that meaningful connection with one another, and that we invite these opportunities to learn and support from one another, because we're grappling with so much, and we're doing this, like inviting you to come in without asking anyone to leave any part of themselves at the door. So my deepest hope is that members hear this theme and feel, even for just a moment, that they are not doing this alone, and that there is a community here rooted in grace and kindness, and that we will persevere together in these times ahead.
I love that. I can tell that means so much to you.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, I'm really hoping. And Kelly, because you have roots in Hawaii, it was like this synergy that happened together when we thought this is the moment where we really want to elevate, like, what is the antidote for fear, unpredictability, and chaos? And that is meaningful connection. And that is everything that is interlaced with aloha. Okay, wait. Okay, I have one more thing, and you can cut it out, if you need to. Did
you
you
know
know?
that as soon as someone says you can cut it out, it's never going to be cut out. That's
No.
what happens on podcasts.
It's something that I've been sharing. And so the Aloha Spirit so we're law librarians, right? And we love our legal research. So the Aloha Spirit was actually codified in the Hawaii Revised Statutes. And
Nice.
the purpose and the intention was to instill all of that, right? The humility, patience, respect, kindness, and to infuse that into the highest levels of government decision making. I mean, it names the governor, the chief justice, the legislature, the leaders in the legislature, but every government worker. And I just think that it has such a meaningful impact to infuse the Aloha spirit into our decision making. And that happened actually in 1986. And I was like, what? That's 40 years, like that 40-year anniversary. And I was like, wait a minute, the 80s were like 40 years ago? I mean, I was a child in the 80s, but still.
I think you're making all of us feel old now.
Yeah,
So.
I guess.
All right. No, Jenny, I really love that. I have a saying I like to use. It's meeting people where they are, but not taking them where they need to be. It's empowering them where they want to go. And I think leading Aloha encapsulates that for the conference. So we are super excited about what the conference and what it has to offer.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, sorry. I just got excited.
I can tell. I'm switching gears though. I'm gonna ask Kelly a question now.
Yes, Kelly, bring us. Yes.
All right, so Kelly, the annual meeting program committee, it has such an important role. It's shaping the conference experience. And again, as was mentioned, the planning starts pretty early on. And there is a responsibility for AMPC to be objective, and they go through and they review and they select the programs. And they really want to make sure that it's meeting what the law librarians need and the profession. So, for you as chair, what were some of the priorities or sort of guiding principles for as you were thinking about what the theme was and the goals for the conference this year?
Sure. So planning starts very early. So we are usually in discussions before committees are actually officially seated after the conference, because the deadlines come so quickly after. So I'll put a shameless plug in. There's a lot of room on this committee. I think there's a total of 45 slots, and we always need volunteers. So if you love this conference, you dislike this conference, whatever your opinion is, you should sign up and volunteer.
So
And
I'm
then
going to ask a question, just cut you off. So if there's somebody who maybe wants to volunteer, but they're brand new to the profession, would this even be a good thing for them to throw their name in there?
every chair runs the committee how they want to. Personally, I'm always very interested in new voices, since we all just aged ourselves as to when we were children. I think new voices should always be welcome. And I'm not even going to go out on a limb because I know it's true. I'm sure Caitlin, our incoming chair for next year, feels the same way. So, and the committee has worked really hard over the years in AALL on creating a committee, that we do blind reviews. So we don't, I can explain a little bit more about that, because that is a change even from when I joined the profession. All the programs you submit are blind reviewed. And I think it's important people know that and understand that, because it used to not be that way. The first time I served as just a committee member on AMPC, it was not blind. We saw exactly who submitted the program. And I think having it blind also leads to new voices, which is certainly something we wanted on this committee.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, Jenny and I actually worked really hard, even in selecting the committee in winter 2025, to make sure we had a really diverse committee. And I'm not both, in demographics, when it comes to what kind of libraries they worked in, the size of libraries they worked in, where they were in their professional career. We have everything from directors to brand new librarians who'd been a librarian for not even a full year yet, I think. To hear all those different voices, I know that so when we actually got into the selecting, like I said, it's blind. So all the committee members are responsible for their respective kind of area. Is there 6 areas? I can't remember. There's a lot going on this committee.
It's all right. That's the part that I always say in my head, in the BOK. I always think that it's the book of knowledge, even though it's not actually called that. Exactly.
of
I
knowledge.
always it's the librarian in me. I always think it's the book of knowledge.
I am a librarian, and I had the website up to prepare for this podcast.
Good for you for doing the homework. Okay.
There are 6 content areas where all the members of AMPC are broken up into those content areas, and they go in and review all the programs that are tagged with those content areas. And then they score them with a rubric, which is available on the website. All our members can see it. And then what we do is we compile those scores, and all the programs get circulated to the team leads. And these are the individuals that lead their content area. And then the team leads and me and the vice chair of AMPC and Jenny and AALL staff all come together in Chicago and do a whirlwind of 2 days of selecting and scheduling all the programs. So things I looked for, first are voices. I wanted lots of different voices on this at this conference, new librarians, firm librarians, public libraries. And I think you can see academics are, we're always around, hard to avoid, right? So I wanted the programming to reflect that and be really representative of our membership. I think Jenny and I were able to produce that, and through all the hard work of our committee members too. I think they took it really seriously, and they really wanted to see good programs come through. I think another thing we thought about when we were selecting programs in Chicago is we don't just look at like the raw scores for programs, right? We discuss almost all the programs we select, unless there's like big winners and people are just like, this is a great program, we can't wait to see it, right? There's some that have a lot of consensus around them. There's some where there's give and take, and we maybe go back to a program and say, we're excited to have you try working out some of these features, right? Sometimes we ask people who submit programs to blend their programs together because there's 2 ideas that are close and we think they'll make a great program as if they come together. Now, another thing is building on past programs that we've had, the tried and true favorites. So we always have the diversity symposium, Cool Tools Cafe. Everybody loves those, right? This year, we have a pre-conference workshop that still has space if people want to join it on copyright. And this is actually a progression of a program from last year on copyright that was an intro. And now there's a bit of a deeper dive for those of you that are interested in it. I highly recommend it. That pre-conference workshop, I think it would be really great for individuals to go to. It's going to talk about copyright and fair use and really give you a strong knowledge and background in that. And we have another pre-conference workshop that is called Refocusing in the Attention Economy, right? We all know we're distracted. We were all joking that we had to turn off all of our devices and get them to stop peeing at us before we popped onto this podcast and started talking to each other, because there's all these distractions. And I think if you're looking both for yourself how to manage that, but also for others, like your students and things, and to work within that, I think it would be a really great program for people. So we have those new things. Then we have hot topics. We've brought back sort of a thing that used to happen that we don't see as often now, which is location specific programming. So we have one about the history of some environmental issues in Ohio. This is a hot topic that also touches on EPA and preservation of agency records, which we know are all struggling with now. And then, of course, another thing with the hot topics is one, when we're talking about leading with Aloha that we're cultivating, is a program where we ask people from any type of library to talk about their wins. So any new innovative program that you're working on, whether it's small or large, it could be we changed our service desk model, right? It doesn't have to be some grand idea, just something you're really proud of and that you want to share and you think others would benefit from, right? That's the building, the community that we're hoping to meet in this moment, both because I think we all need it and it's on theme for us, right? So yeah, and Jenny called me with this theme and I loved it. My dad's Native Hawaiian. Most of my family on that side still lives there. And so it definitely meant something to me when Jenny came up with this idea. So I was on board.
And Can I just add on about the amazing work that the committee did? Like when Kelly said earlier about how everybody was very conscientious about representation and all the different voices and the different library types, and also under this common theme of meeting these moments of where our profession is now and thinking more towards the future. And also, we've been through a lot, and so I love the brainchild that Kelly and Caitlin had with this. Like, let's celebrate, let's bring community together with what are our wins. And like Kelly said, it could be something really small, but it has this huge impact on your services or the staff that you work with or the people you serve. It can be something really small, I guess, right? Or huge, right? Like we know people that are like transforming services to incarcerated individuals, right? Anything in between, it's all a win. There's no act too small that can have a meaningful impact on the profession and the people that we serve. Okay, sorry. Kelly, keep talking because you're amazing.
No, I think too we tried to pick programs for people at all stages of their career too. Right. And mixing the fun parts of our job, instruction with some of the more scary parts, AI. With AI, I know it's been a lot of it in the last few conferences. We really focused on selecting programs that we thought brought new concepts to the discussion, while also giving an opportunity for people to feel like they have space to learn more about it. So
Yeah, I think there's something to that idea of like bringing in lots of people. Like Andre, I think you might have a question about registration and bringing people in.
Yeah, and I love the idea about talking about wins. Another one of my sayings: "There's no substitution for contribution." And um,
Audrey, you should write a book. Okay.
of
I
my
know he's got these amazing one-liners. They're awesome. Words of wisdom.
but this question is actually for the both of you, and we know that we're 8 days from the early bird registration deadline on May 20th, and we're actually I just got an email from the conference people. I'm trying to figure out, hey, how do we? I want to register everybody. We're bringing 5 people to the conference, so I'm really excited. Uh, and wanting to get registered. So. Uh, because this episode is about that, we're trying to encourage people to register and attend and be a part of AALL in Cleveland in July. We are at a moment where, as we know, and we've kind of touched on, law librarians are navigating rapid change, including technology, AI, access to justice. That's the space I really live in, leadership transitions, staffing challenges, and the need to demonstrate value. So my question for the both of you: why is the annual meeting especially important for our profession right now?
can I pop in?
Sure.
Okay. In my, however, almost 2 decades of this career, for me, the relationships I build are invaluable. And I know that's hard to sell sometimes to some of our employers, but the reality is that going to these programs and learning, even if it's just one thing you take back that you can truly implement in your work life, I think that is a huge win. I think the value is in building your network and building the connections with others, especially in different library types. It's really hard in the academic setting to get out of my library type. And I have met the best firm librarians at the conference, public law librarians. I've heard excellent programming, particularly from the public law librarians, about the exceptionally hard work they do in the public space. And I know other academics have been able to build programs to help support those public law librarians because of that, which brings value to their own space, but also shares the wealth with others, so to speak. And I think having somebody I can call up and say at a big firm and go, off the record, can you tell me how you're actually using AI? Because I have students and I need like some concrete directions to go in. And the only way I've done that is through meeting people at AALL or expanding my network. You go out to lunch with your friend who you haven't seen in a year and they bring their friend, and then you have another person in your network.
I love that, Kelly. I just want to add on to that too. There's something about gathering in person that no webinar or virtual platform has ever truly replicated. And I think we all know this now, like after years of teleworking and Zooming and all of that. So as a profession, we're navigating these consequential questions, like you mentioned, Andre, AI, how we integrate it, thinking about equity and access to legal information, how we demonstrate our value to our institutions that are themselves under pressure. And these conversations need to have room. They need that hallway exchange. Like, of course, the sessions, like the hallway exchange after the sessions. The sessions are really important. They're informing our profession. We're learning from each other. But that hallway conversation after it ends, that lunch table where we meet somebody and they say that thing that you just wouldn't put in a chat box, right? And or that moment where you recognize with another person, like, "Ooh, I'm facing that same challenge," and "Ooh, you're handling it that way, and I was handling it this way." And then there's this opportunity to learn. Like, that's invaluable. So, like you said, right, the networking and the building, Kelly. And so, I guess, like, when you're thinking about that, like the challenges that we think and we're handling all together in our various organizations and sectors. But the annual meeting is where we all come together and our profession as a whole like thinks out loud together. And right now, these shared experiences are more important and more meaningful and impactful, I think, than ever before.
Yeah, one of the things that I'd love to add to that too, how getting out of your library space, how you were saying that collaboration can really not only lead to good conversations, but can lead to opportunities. A few years ago, I chose to go to the summit, so the PLLIP summit, because I went to it and because it was such a positive experience for me. And I teach legal technology, and it happened to be one that was kind of focusing on that. I volunteered. I became a PLLIP member, even though I'm an academic. I volunteered. I got put on the summit committee. Yeah. And so it just sort of spirals into something else. And actually, this year, I'm the chair for the PLLIP summit committee. So
Oh my,
yeah, so it is one of those things where when you get out of your library type, it can lead to other things. And kind of going off of this question, Andre, that you mentioned with the like, how what is a takeaway? I can tell you specifically with the summit this year, because of feedback we got from membership with the virtual. That's why we're back in person. And the other reason why we're doing it back in person that way is that it's going to be practical. People said we want practical skills, and I know as I was looking at the programming for the overall conference, it's a lot of practical. And I think that's what people are looking for, right? Like you said, it's those takeaways. It's those things that you can take away, have those conversations, and then, go back and implement. And so I love that. That's something we were doing this summit, but I also saw all of that with the programming too.
That's awesome. Well, this is a good segue. We'll just take a small break and we'll have a word from our sponsor, LexisNexis, and we'll be right back.
Every great era of transformation has architects behind it. Today, information professionals are helping shape the next era of AI in legal organizations, guiding adoption, ensuring authority, and turning innovation into real impact. At LexisNexis, we're building AI solutions designed for that responsibility, combining trusted content, advanced technology, and tools like Protege to help you move your organization forward with confidence. We're proud to support AALL and the AALLIn podcast. Visit lexisnexis.com/community/infopro to explore resources built for leaders at the forefront of AI innovation. And connect with us at AALL this summer. LexisNexis, private, secure, authoritative legal AI.
All right. So, Kelly, your story is a great example of how AALL can become a professional home. Your career has taken you to different places, and your AALL service has also taken you into different leadership spaces, including chairing multiple committees and juries. So, what has AALL's volunteer service meant to you professionally and personally?
I was really lucky. My very first job as a law librarian, I had a incredibly supportive leadership team. So it was Dick Danner at Duke and Melanie Dunshee and Jennifer Behrens. And they all very much pushed me to get involved with AALL and our local chapter, SEAL, at the time. That's where I was. SEAL is huge, by the way. But
I'm a SEAL kid too. I came out of that.
Yeah. I'm leaving for SEAL tomorrow, actually.
Nice.
I got in, they're like, get involved early and often, which I do think is actually easier earlier in your career. A lot of the times when you haven't filled up the space with a lot of other responsibilities necessarily. So that choice really got me into service. And what that also did is I mean, I think librarians are nosy by nature. Like we
In a
want
good way. We're
in a
just
good
we want all the information. There's nothing wrong with
we
that.
love the information. And for me, I always tell new librarians this: start with the scholarship committees, because one, you get to give money away, and two, you get to see everybody's CV and read about all the cool stuff people are doing. And I've tried to take that with me, that idea that people are doing so many interesting, cool things in their career as librarians. And I've been lucky enough to see that in every space and volunteer position I've been in, whether it was a scholarship committee, or I think I did the minority award too. At one time I was on that, and that was great. And I was on the copyright committee, right? So at the time we were lobbying for a lot of things under DMCA and these other provisions, and working with really great librarians with really diverse interests, again, from diverse library types. I've been really lucky in that, and it's made me, I think, a better librarian. I hope a better colleague, to be able to be empathetic to the different situations librarians face in different types of libraries. And, when Jenny asked me if I wanted to do AMPC, I knew it was a huge responsibility. And I was like, think about it for 48 hours.
So it's funny you say that, because when I was asked to do it, it was Michelle, and I was like, if it was anybody else, I would have said no, but I can't say no to you. So I don't know, Kelly, if you had the same thing with Jenny.
Exactly the same thing. Literally, if anyone else had asked me, I don't think I would have said. I'm sure I would have said no. For Jenny, I said yes. But I really thought about it, because I think I am one of those people that has opinions and can be critical of some of the things I've come across over the years. But I'm also somebody who's like, if I'm going to make the criticism, I have to back it up with action. So I had the opportunity, which Jenny presented me with, to, try to create a really diverse conference with diverse opinions of other people. I think you'll often, if you know me, you'll say, I want somebody who's opinionated. Even if I disagree with them, I have a firm belief that disagreement done well leads to a better outcome.
I like that.
I mean, and in service to AALL, you get to see so many diverse opinions. I think it's been a really great experience for me. I'm taking a year off after this, though.
Saying no. Learn to say no. Do we have a program on that? I don't remember.
No.
I will not even do programs next year. Jenny, that I know, comes to me and asks me, and then I'll be like, oh, I guess I'm saying yeah.
Kelly, I said that, and I got roped into 3 programs this year. I can't say no. That's really great, and I love that, Kelly. I think volunteering and service, and then when you get to the conference, you actually get a chance to meet people that you've served with on the committee, and get to know each other and get to build those relationships. And which takes me to a question for you, Jenny, that I would love you to weigh in on. During your presidency, you've talked about elevating the work of our members across all types of law libraries and fostering deep connections. One of my other big connection, I'm big on connection, fostering deep connections through community. How does these connections and, attending the conference strengthen the profession?
Okay. I love this question. Okay, and anybody who tells me about what is your favorite thing about coming to the meeting and what about the connections? My favorite is the first time attendees, the Connell attendees. When they come in, I'm so happy to meet them. I don't want to make it weird. If anybody number 2, hug. I will always ask for permission to hug, because not all people are huggers, but it just builds my heart to see the future of our profession unfold before your eyes. So I love the mentorship possibilities there. And I remember being that person, the first time attendee, walking in and going, oh my goodness, what is happening here? And then being met and invited and included. And I was like, wow, I was so inspired. So that I think all the things that we do for the first time attendees, for the newer law librarians who get to do the pre-conference of the Connell, the Conference of Newer Law Librarians, right? That's what Connell stands for. We have a great chair, Brian Huffman, who's organizing that. And it's such an opportunity for board, we go in to actually meet with them, and not just meet and handshake, but like meet and sit down and talk story with them. Like I made like 5 LinkedIn friends last year in Portland. We're still friends, right? But that's the best, is like just seeing the bright faces and the inspiration and inviting these new perspectives, because we need that, right? Like Kelly said, we need diverse opinions, we need fresh perspectives, and bringing them to the conference is so important. And so welcoming those voices really has an impact for our future, for our current and our future, right? Because we're saying you are valuable, your voice matters, your opinions and your work and your amazing background matters, and that's something that we can learn from. So come to us. Oh wait.
So, Jenny, I love that you just shared the thing about the first timers, because I'm going to share a personal story right now. We have last year I had a brand new graduate who has joined the law library profession, and I had someone who's still a law student who is graduating this year. Both of them went to the conference. They came back. They were so excited because I told them they had to get the first timer ribbons and put it on their badges. You walked up to them at one of the events and they were thrilled. They were like, she came up to us. She's going to be the president next year. They were so excited. So it really does have an impact because they came back telling me about it.
They're probably my LinkedIn friends.
They probably are already. Look up Devin Murphy. I'm sure she's already on there. If not, because Andre knows her too. I mean,
Yes.
she is a rising star. She's been in the profession for like a year, and she's amazing already. She's
Devin.
I can still remember being a first time attendee and having that ribbon and people
it
coming up
makes
to
it's
me
so
and
great.
welcoming me into their little groups to chat and asking me about what I was doing and making me feel so welcome in a space where, let's be honest, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
You've got hundreds and hundreds of librarians and then you've got vendors in the exhibit hall, and you're at the the opening ceremony, and there are people everywhere and you don't know any of them probably, or very, very few. And having that first timer ribbon, I definitely remember multiple groups of people coming up and pulling me in and being like, oh, tell us all about yourself. So grab that ribbon, first timers.
100% they need to.
So as we unfortunately are coming to a close to our conversation, it's been awesome and amazing. Yeah,
I know. I
yeah,
always
I
hate
know.
this part.
I know. Just to be a little more practical, there may be somebody who's listening who's thinking about attending AALL for the first time, or they're returning after being away from several years, or they're trying to make the case to their organization why they should attend. Jenny, Kelly, and even Katie, what would you say to this person?
For the new timers, attendees, you just heard, it's not a place where we just welcome you and it's a handshake and a name tag and that's it. Like there's genuine connection here, and there's genuine learning that you can bring back to your organization and make it richer. Like we're not just polite name taggy people. We're like, we would love to mentor you if you're a first time attendee, newer to the profession, and we invite you in to help enrich us. And also we have so much knowledge that we can share with you. It's an opportunity to learn. And for those who are returning after time away, this is really impactful. The profession has changed. Just in 3 years, it's changed. Listen, at the last year, things have changed. And so have you. And there's so much richness and bringing these two things back together. And either way, you will leave with more than you expected, new ideas, reinforced connections with your colleagues, and hopefully, maybe very likely, with this renewed sense of why you chose this work in the first place, and how you can, I mean, if we want to do practical, like how you can have concrete ideas and practical applications to enrich your workplace and better serve the stakeholders that come to your law libraries.
I just want to second what Jenny said. And I already spoke about being a first timer and going and building those connections as a new person. But I think it's important for us to talk about people who've stepped away from AALL in the annual meeting. Maybe they're like, oh, it's too much of this type of programming or that type of programming. I really want to encourage you to come back and reinvigorate your feelings about why you do what you do. I hope you look at our programming this year and see things that are slightly more advanced, or where you can learn something new, or just brush up on skills that you may have not been using recently. I think the pandemic was actually quite some time ago. It does not feel like that. But I think some of us had to let go of things we actually really enjoyed doing, and I hope maybe you'll find some of that there. And I would also say, maybe you're not looking to reconnect with people, but maybe you should connect to new people, and they'll help reinvigorate that spirit that I think most of us came into this profession with. And I would really encourage you to come and see. And it's Cleveland. I mean, you can go see the Christmas Story House. It's not that far away.
Oh, I have to go see that. That wasn't on my list before, but that is 100% on my list now. All right. So I'm now going to ask you all, what are you personally most excited about for the conference? And this could be anything. What are you most excited about?
There's so much. Do you want to take it first, Kelly? You want me to go? You go first.
You got to pick one. I'm going to do it to you. You got to pick one thing.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay, just so Kelly's thinking, but just one. But of course, I'm going to say this. Like, I'm going to talk about our keynote. Having Judge Micah Smith as our keynote, just feels so meaningful in this moment. Not just because he's one of our own from Hawaii, but he has such a deep story. His story is so moving. He grew up on Kauai, graduated public high school. His first experience in working in the legal profession was like interning at the Legal Aid Society of Hawaii, serving people who needed access to justice the most with the least resources. And so that foundation of public service has followed his career. And I think it really speaks directly to the values at the heart of us, of our profession, right? Of service and excellence. And when he and Judge Shanlin Park were confirmed to the federal bench, that was the first time, it marked this historic moment, the first time in Hawaii where the all active Article 3 judges are AAPI. And I think that's so historic. That milestone matters. And having someone who carries this history and commitment to equity step into our space and speak to us just feels like a genuine gift. So yeah, I'm really excited for him to be here with us.
Nice.
That's exciting, especially it's AAPI Heritage Month too in the month of May. So that's a really great fact that you provided to us.
Thanks, Andre.
Kelly.
I'm excited to see all the programming come together and to see all the hard work pay off that the committee members did. They reviewed 100 plus program proposals.
Yes, they were amazing.
They were all so good and everybody has good ideas. I'm excited to see how it comes together. I'm excited to hear people's feedback on the programs they went to in the conference as a whole. And I'm excited to hopefully see people. I mean, hopefully this all counts as one thing because it's around programming. But
it's a very long one thing. It's
very long. To see them walk away with some morsel of information that they'll actually use. Like I tell my staff, you just need to walk away with one thing and be like, I can absolutely implement that and make it work for me and make it work for our library. So.
Well, go ahead, Katie.
I was going to say, Andre, you said you're going, so I want to know what you want.
Yeah, I'm excited, and this is maybe I can't speak for the both of us, but I'm excited, and I'm going to tease something that we'll have all in at AALL. So we'll have a very, very special episode. That's all I'm going to tease right now. We will be there at AALL, so I'm super excited about being there.
We'll be doing some recording.
Yeah, doing some recording live. So we'll have lots of blooper reels from that.
100%.
So that's what I'm excited about. And you?
You know what? It hasn't been said, but I'm actually really excited to see what is going to be going on in the exhibitor hall. Every year I go, there are brand new companies that come in, and then there are going to be some folks who we've had those vendors there forever, and we know them, and they're our friends because we have relationships with them. So I'm always excited to make the rounds at the exhibit hall and chat with folks. So that's something I always like.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's always so exciting in there.
Awesome. And just being shout out to the AALL board as well, and AALL staff who work so hard
100%
to help put this together. I'm really excited to meet our new Joyce,
our new official executive director.
Yeah, ED. Wow, I'm excited to meet Joyce in person as well. Which we may tease something else, but I'm gonna
keep it quiet.
Keep it quiet.
Keep the secrets.
But no, Jenny and Kelly, thank you both for being on episode 2 of AALLIn and for helping us preview AALL Conference 2026, leading with Aloha. What I'm taking away from this conversation is that the conference is more than a gathering. It's an opportunity to reconnect with purpose and strengthen our professional community and think deeply about how we lead in this moment.
Yeah, I think whether you're going to be a first time attendee or if you're a long time AALL member, a committee volunteer, a speaker, a mentor, or someone who's just looking to reconnect, really the AALL 2026 is going to be a chance for everybody to learn and grow and really find people that they can connect with and network with.
Yeah, and you can't see me, but this is the heart.
Making it too.
The heart.
The whole episode.
This is the heart of AALL. We come for programs, and as Jenny, beautifully said earlier, we come for those conversations in the hallway, the ideas we did not know we needed, and the relationships that help sustain us throughout the year. So we hope this episode encourages you to register. Remember, May 20th is the early bird deadline. So
Get that discount. Get in early.
yours and come help us lead with Aloha. Thank you, Jenny and Kelly, for being with us.
And to everyone listening, thank you for going all in with us once again. And we will see you for episode 3.
Thank you so much. Aloha.
Thank you.